All right. So a lot of times we want to have our character be able to move between screens. Like if I want to go left here, I want to go into a different room. So there's so many different ways to do this. But I think the best, well, one of the ways I'll show you, and you can decide, depending on the game, you can tell which way is best, right? So I'm going to create a new variable called room. And so right off the bat, um, I want to say that I'm in room or screen or whatever, room one, right? Um, I'm just going to show you how to do this with two backdrops, but it should be pretty straightforward from there. So there's a city setting and a beach setting. City setting is going to be 1, beach setting is going to be 2. So what I'm going to do in the backdrop scripts, I'm just going to have it be pretty straightforward here. So we're forever sensing, right? Um, if if the room I'm supposed to be in is 1, then I'm going to switch the backdrop to 007. If it's supposed to be 2, well, then I'm going to switch it to the beach. So when I click here, I set the room to 1, and I'm in the first room. So how do I change it so that I'll be at the second room? Well, I'm going to create a new sprite. Now this is the way to sense it, is the way to really change it here. So if you have an uneven line here, if you hold shift, it'll snap into a straight line. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to bring all the way to the edge, right? Just a little border. Okay. So what I want to do now is I'm going to say, hey, if I'm ever touching sprite 1, right? If I'm ever touching sprite 1, then that is the screen to get to the next room, right? So I can say, yeah. So I'm going to set the room to number 2. So now watch what happens. I touch sprite 1, boop, I'm on the beach page. But it doesn't make sense because I should be on the left side of the screen. So what I want him to appear right here. So if I touch sprite 1, what I want to do is I want to go to, and right here my X value is, actually I'm going to change my X value just a little bit. So he's a little bit off the screen, which will become clear in a little bit. My X value is good. I want him to be left 183 pixels. The thing I don't know is I don't know the Y value that I want to do. So what I want to do is I'm going to go to, actually I can do it right here. I can just do my Y position. So whatever my Y position was, but I want my X position to change. So let's see how that works. So that way if I start right here, now I'm on the left side of the screen and low. But if I was to go up here high, the X value still says left side of the screen, but the Y position is sensing my old Y position, and I can stay up high. So now how do I get back? Well, I'm going to do the same trick again. I'm going to duplicate this, sprite 2, and have him be on the left side of the screen. And if I'm ever touching sprite 2 now, I'm going to switch it back to room 1, and I want my X position to be about right here. And I want my Y position to be there. Okay. So now I can go into this room, and I can go, see what's happening here? When I'm trying to get over, I must not be getting over far enough, and I'm landing on this. So I want to take this back. Instead of 223, let's try 200 and see if it'll let me go back and forth. Okay, so when I was coming back in the room, I was landing on the thing that was transporting me to the other room. That's why it's important to get those things right. Let's say I wanted to get to the next room. Sprite 1 and 2, because now this one won't allow me to get to the next one. What I'd have is if the room was 2 for this one, I would have sprite 2 hide, and I'd have a third sprite up here to get me to the next one. So that's just one way to do it. Or I guess another way you could do is sprite 2 would always say next room, and sprite 1 would be the room before it. So like subtracting 1 from the room variable, and sprite 2 would always add 1 to the room variable. That's a way better way to do it.